7 minutes past the hour on DayBreak USA. Good morning and welcome. Thanks for joining us. Now, Mondays, we devote time to our good friend Dr. Jim Humphreys from Pet Docs on Call and the Veterinary News Network. He is nationally known for drawing attention to all areas of pet health. But one of the things that we are pleased and privileged to be able to bring to you is an author and a PhD in communications from the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, who has been certified as a grief recovery specialist by the internationally recognized Grief Recovery Institute. She's trained directly by the founder of that institute, John W. James, and counsels those who grieve from any loss, but has a special interest in helping those who are mourning the loss of a beloved companion animal. Dr. Diane Pomerance, welcome to DayBreak USA. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
You know, when we talk about pets on this program, we talk about so many different areas of the universe, the world that is our pets and pet ownership, pet health. And we also talk about rescue and shelters. Mm-hmm. We had recently on the program the owner of and a host of a reality show that's on Animal Planet that's called Pit Bulls and Parolees. Mm. Tia rescues pit bulls. And there are men who are trying to restart their lives, who have been incarcerated, and now their opportunities to get out and contribute. I'm struck by the fact that as I look at this book and as I read your biography, the thing that strikes me the most is the fact that in your effort to rescue these animals, so much of what you've learned, you speak to what is the interconnectedness of all living mm-hmm. creatures. What have you learned about this that you believe can help us all appreciate not only the value of these four-legged creatures, but the importance of how we treat each other?
These animals enrich our lives so deeply. And in the process of rescuing 46 dogs, and we've rescued far beyond that, but mm-hmm. the 46 I refer to are the ones that we have adopted. We've saved them. Mm-hmm. They've been abandoned, neglected, abused, injured, and we've rehabilitated them medically, socially, etc. Mm-hmm. And in the process, you learn so much about human beings because we're so similar, and that makes you even more aware of the fact that we share so much in common. We're on this planet together, and there's a reason for that. And for many pet owners that can tell you experiences of how these animals have come to their aid, saved their lives, brought new meaning, new significance. They've lost a spouse, perhaps human spouse, child, friends, relatives, and these animals come in, and I have 6 assisted therapy dogs that go into assisted living centers, perform animal-assisted therapy in hospitals with special needs kids and adults. Mm-hmm. And there is this unconditional love that these animals have that is unlike any other love. And they're so pure of heart, and they're so vulnerable and so dependent upon us. So, again, there are many, many life lessons that we can learn from these animals, including stoicism, patience, perseverance.
Mm-hmm. How did you and your husband begin doing what is now this mission of yours?
Yeah, it is a mission, and it's so amazing. Life works in mysterious ways, as they say. I lost my dog Caesar about 12 and a half years ago. He was a stray we found in a park in Los Angeles when we were living there. Mm-hmm. He was an Alaskan Malamute lab mix. So vulnerable. He had been just torn asunder. He was pitiful. Mm-hmm. He used to sit in our den and shake. He was full of wounds, bullet wounds, every kind of disease, skin issues, etc. And we rehabilitated him. In the process, he was so vulnerable and so dependent on us. And through Caesar, I became a caregiver, and we adopted 3 other dogs subsequently. But when Caesar died, it's as though my life was transformed. It took on a new meaning, and I had lost a lot of human companions and relatives and friends. Right. My dad to lung cancer, friends to pancreatic cancer, stomach cancer, AIDS, you name it. And I had never grieved for anyone as much as I had grieved for Caesar. And again, it was because he was with me 24/7. He was non-judgmental. He was a member of our family, shared Thanksgiving, Christmas, the holidays, vacations with us, We played together. He was great for exercise. We took him for walks. And when he died, there was such a huge void in my life. And I was a pretty smart kid, I thought, a PhD, and life had been pretty linear up till that point. And it really threw me for a curve. I started researching grief and ultimately became a grief counselor through Caesar's death. But I realized in the process of my own soul searching that there were so few counselors out there that dealt with pet grief. People were embarrassed or ashamed to talk about the loss of a pet. We don't really enjoy talking about any kind of death. I mean, it's uncomfortable for us. We're embarrassed. We don't know the correct things to say. And so I learned to cope with and recover from grief. And I wrote my first book called When Your Pet Dies for children, along with an accompanying CD, so that they, with their teachers in school or pastors at church or whatever, parents, could discuss loss, because for children, the loss is profound. It's profound for adults, but perhaps even more so for children, because this is the one unique being that they trust implicitly. There's no one to tell them, oh, clean up your room and do your homework. This pet hangs out with you and is your bud. And so I wrote that for children, and it really transformed my life. I created the Pet Grief Counseling Program for the SPCA of Texas.
Now, how long have you been in North Texas?
15 years.
In that period of time, what have you seen in terms of our appreciation for and the growth of rescue centers and people doing what it is that you've done that are helping to bridge that gap between a lot of pets that end up being abandoned,
Right,
not adopted because of the behavioral elements that are a product of the abuse, and are we closing the gap between these rescue animals being rescued, rehabilitated, and adopted in bigger
we
numbers?
have a ways to go, but we're certainly learning. And through books like mine and the books of many other people, Wallace Seif, PhD, wrote The Loss of a Pet early on and was a pioneer in the field of pet bereavement. And people, may think, what, pets? But they're extremely important. We have service animals. We have military animals that work with us in Afghanistan and Iraq and all over the world. They perform so many functions for us. And also these assisted animals, animal therapy dogs that I was talking about, help with epileptics and in predicting seizures. There's just so many uses for these animals that most of us don't even think about.
Let's pause. We're going to go step away, do a little business. When we come back with Dr. Diane Pomerance, we will take you through the pages of our Rescue Dog family album and get a chance to meet some of these incredible animals that have seen the love that Dr. Pomerance and our husband Norm have devoted to them, and how you can as well.